Flosstube. Welcome back. My name's Mandy, and you have found my little corner of YouTube where I like to talk about my cross stitch and sometimes quilting. Um, I've been quilting, but I don't have a whole lot to show you right now. Um, that was Henry that you saw. He's kind of my buddy right now. Um, so it's been, I think, 2 months since my last video. Today is Sunday, June 1st. I think my last video was around the end of March, maybe. Um, And so I just thought I'd pop back on and kind of give you an update about what I've been stitching. I've been stitching, kind of my normal amount, I guess. I just haven't, kind of life happened in May, and so I wasn't really able to record a video. And so I'll just kind of jump right in if you don't really care about life stuff. Fast forward a little bit. But I was diagnosed with breast cancer towards the end of March, and so I found a lump in January, and had it worked up, and turns out it's cancer. It's invasive ductal carcinoma, which is kind of the most common type of cancer, and so I um, have started chemotherapy. So my hair fell out, hence the lovely headscarf that I have on right now. And yeah, so I've done 2 rounds of chemo, 2 out of 6. I'll have it's every 3 weeks. My next one is this coming Friday. And so yeah, that's why kind of life, and I wasn't able to hop on here, and I'm sure everybody understands. I still have been stitching. Um, I think the hardest part about chemotherapy is the fatigue that you feel. So if I get an infusion on Fridays, by Monday I feel like I can barely get out of bed. I can, get out of bed and walk to the recliner and take another nap after sleeping for 12 hours that night before. So that's kind of my most bothersome symptom. The other things are manageable with kind of medications, but that fatigue is just so, so hard. Um, and so luckily it only lasts a few days, and then I can kind of get out of that fog and feel somewhat back to normal. And then I'm able to go back to work the following week, gratefully. I've heard that rounds 4 and 5 are usually the worst, so we'll kind of see. But like those days that I'm just down, I can't even like pick up a needle to stitch, and so that's been tricky. Just you know working through that. But otherwise, life is good. Boys are out of school. They are having a good summer so far. It's only been a week, but we got a boat. So we live here. We live in Kansas, kind of middle of the state, and we live like 10 minutes away from the state's biggest lake called Milford Lake. And so we decided to sell a camper that we were getting a good use of, but we haven't here lately. And so we sold the camper and bought the boat. And so that's been nice to kind of be able to get out and enjoy that. And so, yeah. And what else? They're out of school next year. Luckily, they will start at the same school, so that will be a lot easier in terms of life and managing that. They are 9 and 5, so kindergarten and fourth grade. Yeah, so like I said, I've been stitching. I'll have quite a few. I don't have any fully finishes. I really just have not had the brain power or capacity or desire or even to fully finish things. And so I have a ever collecting pile of more and more finished projects that need to be fully finished. And such is life. I need to kind of deep clean my craft room and get that stuff out, I guess, to fully finish. And I just have not had the desire for that. So the pile of finished items just keeps growing, and I'm okay with it, honestly. That bug will hit me eventually, and I'll go on a fully finishing rampage, and then it'll go away again, which is, I don't know. I'm okay with it at this point. Um, so yeah, so where am I going? I will show you the things that I like fully finished in April and May. And then, I have a few whips. Right now I'm kind of in like a stitch on something until it's finished kind of mindset. And so, yeah, for May, I did a lot of the Housewives smalls that they released. And so I have a lot of those to show you. And then a few big ones. that I am very, 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 very close to a finish on. And then there's some plans and, goals and things I want to work on for the next couple months. And we'll see if how many of the things I touch that I want to touch, because I always have a much bigger list of plans than I am able to accomplish. And that's also okay. It's good to have high goals, I guess. Um, yeah. Oh, so interesting that I have my calendar here, so I use Lori Holt's stitch calendar thing, which I really like. It's kind of colorful. I don't have to put in my own stickers. You certainly could. I just don't. It says that I filmed a Flosstube on April 6th, which maybe I did. I don't remember, but maybe I did. I thought it was more in March that I had done it. That's okay. Um, so let's see. In April, I kind of kept stats. I had 7 starts and only 4 finishes, assuming this is added up correctly, which it looks right. In May, I had a lot of starts because I counted each little housewife start as a start. So I had 16 starts, but I had 17 finishes, which also were all the small ones, but that's cool. Good, fun. These are not going to be in order of like when I stitched them, and that's okay. So let me just stop rambling and hop right in here to the finishes. So I'm trying to work through kind of the housewives, Henry, sorry, the housewives kind of series that I get monthly. And so right now the current one is the Blooming Roots. I was in calendar crates 2 years ago. I think that was 2022. And then last year was the weigh-ins. So I'm kind of working my way through those. I'm trying to do them all in a month. Sometimes I finish it, sometimes I don't. But the first one here is this finished pansy place. So gosh, the colors are so pretty. And I have the house from Paisleys and Polka Dots. So I think once I finish the whole series, I will go ahead and fully finish everything. That's stitched on a 28 count, just like white even weave, which I really enjoy stitching on that. It's nice and easy to stitch on. Oh, he is just gonna be kind of a mess. Okay, and then calendar crates. This is April's calendar crates. Gosh, sorry, I hope the color is okay. I'm filming on a new laptop. And so we'll see. Yeah. 27 count Linda is what this is stitched on with the called for floss. There's the small. I also really like stitching the housewife stuff on Linda. It's just a good, nice feeling. This is April weigh-in, which is my least favorite of all the weigh-ins. It looks pretty cute actually here on the camera, but I don't know. I didn't like these big fat bunnies really, and I thought about changing them, but then that was kind of a lot of work, and so I didn't. And I don't like this fabric actually stitching on it at all. It's very loose, and I feel like things get stretched out too easy if you kind of have to like pull hard to get a knot through or something. And so it's fine. Like I don't have a finishing piece for the weigh-ins. I don't love the thing from Paisley's and Polka Dots, so I haven't figured out how I'm gonna finish those yet. And then this year, as like my monthly piece, I'm trying to do um it's called the Year in Chalk by Hands On Design. And so I believe this was either April's or May's. I want to say this was April's. Stitched on 14 count chalkboard black. And now we're into May. So this is May calendar crates. This is the small Home Sweet Home. I really like this one, because I like to quilt too. So that's this, and then this is the big piece. So for this series, I just have June left, and then that series will be complete. So that's kind of part of my plans is for June is to start and finish June. We'll see. Okay, and then I participated in what did they call it? it was in April. I don't know where my phone is. Oh, it's right here. In April, it was like one of the online events by Lindy Stitches. Spring Mingle. Um, and so was that in April or May? Oh, it was in May. Anyways, so I signed up and paid for Kathy's class. I didn't actually get to take it on that day, and you know what? I think I missed my opportunity. This weekend is probably the last time to like tune into the class, but her instructions are really good. So I'll just this is a piece that was for the class called "This Bee's Got Knees." So I started and finished it in the month of April, I guess. And gosh, I hope it looks better than it does on my camera. With the call for colors, I can't remember. This is a 28 count. Say it's a picture this plus linen. And then I stitched the little things on perforated paper. And I also did the small, which I'll probably turn into a round, just like she did. Um, so, again, have to fully finish it. Haven't been in the mood. It's okay. What else? This is another finish. Was a release by Hands On Design from this most recent market called Ladybug Picnic. I got the finishing kit from, or the, not the finishing kit, the kit, I guess, the called for fabric, which is like grapefruit or pomegranate or something from Hand Dyed by Stephanie. Stephanie. I can't remember what her name is. And then it's the called for weeks, which I just finished this a couple days ago, so it was good. I started at the Startathon thing in February, the online event that Lindy Stitches did. Okay, and then I kind of got a bug that I really wanted to stitch a bunch of smalls, I guess. And so for the first part of May, I worked on the daisy roundabouts from last year by Stitching with the Housewives. So this is just a piece of 32 count. I think it's called Slate Lugana by Zweigart, maybe. Yeah, it's got the orange thing. So, and then I just kind of picked one, stitched it. They each take about a day and a half to stitch. And then these are particular ones. Super fun. I thought I did. Oh yeah, this was the extra one that went with probably Bloom. This fabric is 32 count Lugana in Scotsman from Be Stitch Me. I didn't have enough, and so that's why I used the Air Lugana. But I feel like they're pretty close in color anyways. And then, so yeah, that was that. And then the strawberries and the patriotic ones started to come out. So these are the two that I'm gonna stitch. I didn't really care for the other ones. All My Stars and Home Sweet Home. This is Fabric Flare Even Weave and Gray Bliss. So these stitched up super fast. This took like a day, and I was actually working the day, and it was a slower day, admittedly, but it didn't take that long. And then because I was in the mood for strawberries, these are two of last year's roundabouts. Strawberry Patch and Farm Fresh Berries. It's just with a called for floss on. This is actually 28 count Monaco, which I don't like because it's super stiff. I like the way it looks, but I don't love stitching on it. So, no. So those ones, and then all of the strawberry. What do they call these? Sassy sideways strippers or something like that. I stitched on 27 count Linda with the called for classic colorworks. So there's those. Spelling. And the last two. And that's the little freebie or extra that comes, the bonus that comes with the You Are My Jam. So I have the finishing piece for like two of these from Hobby Lobby. I want to get the the other ones that are finished, the like little, what they call it, a candle holder or stand-up piece. I just haven't had a chance to get over to Hobby Lobby because it's about a 30-minute drive and I haven't had the time in my schedule here lately. Okay, so that's all my finishes. Whips are kind of in no particular order. This one is Hummingbird Garden. This was in the Just Cross Stitch magazine last year. And so like 3 were released per magazine. And I'm trying to stitch one motif a month. So I have January, February, March, April. I just finished May a couple days ago, and then I'll do June. And really, they don't take that long. It takes like a night of stitching. So probably like 3 or 4 hours. But I got the kit from, it's called like Annie's Stitching or something like that. It was online. It, the kit came with this is Sullivan's floss. So very, very, such a pretty palette. And the fabric is a Jobelin 28 count, I think. And it came with like the little sparkly floss, and then there's little hummingbird, little like charms that you put on when you're done. So there's that. Back here. What else? So I started May. That's what it'll look like. May's weigh in. I got that, and then I got distracted by all the little smalls, so I didn't finish it in May, which I don't know if I'll pick it up. Hey, back, move, go lay down. He needs more attention and more exercise than we're able to give him right now. Um, so I started. I got not, fairly decent progress. I just got distracted by the strawberry stitching, so I didn't pick it back up in May. Yeah, I don't know what this fabric is. It's a witch out linen in some, neutral color, stitching it with a cold floss. He's probably going to get into trouble and chew something up. He's a German wire-haired pointer, which I don't know if any of you that are watching have that breed, but they have a lot of energy, and he's actually a really good dog. But he's a puppy. He's 2, well, 1.5. He'll be 2 in the fall. Anyways, he still chews up a lot of stuff. Okay, and then this is another whip that I'm hoping to finish this kind of summer season, I guess. I don't have the cover photo, but it's a fat quarter shot pattern. A couple of years ago, they did a series. They call it Patchwork Seasons, I guess. And so they kitted it up with like NPI floss, and I think the pattern was free, maybe, but you buy the floss. And so this is stitched with NPIs. It's gonna be a flag. That's as tall as it is, and that's as wide as it is. This is it's Frost by Be Stitch Me. It's a 32 count Lugana. So it's a good project when you have to fill in stuff, but it also takes a long time because it's a lot of fill in. I mean, that flag is full coverage, and but so you can't really see. It's terribly unorganized. There's some MPIs there, and there's some red and white MPIs. So it's pretty, and it's nice as like a travel kind of project. Okay, two more whips. So I'll show, it's kind of one whip, 1.5. Because the other one's kind of bland. So this one I'm hoping to finish today. This has been a long time whip. Sorry, I don't have the cover photo. I started this, I think, in 2021. It was a mystery stitch along by Jardin Privé. The title is something in French that I can't pronounce, but I think it translates to birdhouses, and so that's what I call it, is birdhouses. Oh, and here's my progress. I just have the fence in the middle. where like the beehive house is and the little ship house. Just that little portion of fence to finish. So I plan to, stitch this and hopefully finish it today. It's a lot of stitching, but it's doable, I think. It's just a lot of fill in, so see if I can get closer. I'm stitching it on a this linen actually came from Joann's. Oh, rest in peace. Um, I love this piece actually. The linen is nice to stitch on, and I just so excited to have this done, and I think I will frame it. Maybe we'll see how much it costs. But that should be finished today, hopefully, and then I'll get it framed. Okay. So that is kind of the last whip. We're going to kind of move into plans a little bit. So, sort of. So, if you follow Fat Quarter Shop, which I do, they recolored this piece, Flea Market Flowers by Lori Holt, into like an Americana kind of style. Let's see. Because of Lori Holt's new like Americana. I mean, this is the floss pack I brought, even though I had most of the DMC already. But this is the colors. That Lugana is Prim Lugana, and then so they're doing something called, I think it's called Thread White in June. Hashtag Thread White in June. Oh, my dog. See, he was getting into trouble chewing stuff up. Anyways, so here's most of the DMC floss I already had, but I had to buy the floss pack to get the conversion, which is fine. Like I get it, they're a business. But anyways, this I would like to kind of keep up with and finish in the month of June. So we'll see. It's a lot of stitching and you can't see it at all. That's all I got is the border. So that part of the border. Um, I mean, that's a big commitment. That's a lot of stitching. I have stitched this once before in like the called for colors from Lori Holt, and I finished it into a pillow and I set it on my chair. A dog chewed it up. Not Henry, actually, our other dog, Hank. He didn't chew it all up. He just chewed like the little corner, but it's ripped enough that it's like not salvageable with the stitching part of it. And so now it just kind of sits down here sadly on my shelf. And lesson learned, I won't put plastic pillows out on the couch. That's that. Okay. Now I'll go into plans and then I'll do haul because the haul is kind of extensive because it's been 2 months and I just to get something that I'm not using right away, I just kind of toss it over to the floss to show it Flosstube, and it's not exactly the right thing to do. I need to put a lot of this stuff away, but that's why I'm filming now so that I have the motivation to put stuff away. My family is out on the boat and I didn't really feel like going with. I know it's kind of bad. I should have went. It's not bad, but I didn't want to go. So I think my husband and my boys are happier being able to drive fast and not have me freak out. Anyways, plans. So this is June, calendar crates. Last one. I would really like to start and finish this. They usually don't take that long, just a couple days. If that's all I work on. But I still, I still have to sit down and work on it because so yeah. And then I have also wanted to keep up with this. So this is, let's see, this is June, a year in chalk. So I have all the fabric cut. I need to just pick out the brown that I'm going to use. It calls for wood rose. I thought wood rose was more of a pink, but I'll have to look and see what I have. What else? Okay, so I went through my kind of patriotic chart and just pulled some things that like I would like to maybe start, maybe stitch. These aren't kitted up, But these are just charts that I have that I think, I would maybe like to think about starting. This is 4th of July Rules by Primrose Cottage. This one's super pretty, Free and Brave by Drawn Thread. It looks pretty small, 76 by 76, so it wouldn't take that long to stitch up. This is Home Sweet Home, which isn't necessarily, I mean, it's a little patriotic, but you could keep it out all year, which is nice. Try with thy needle. Liberty Pennies by Hands On Design. This is Flag of Glory Needlebook. I think that's super pretty. Never made a needlebook. And it's just random stitch cards by Lori, set U. So they're kind of nice and patriotic. This would stitch up fast. Strawberries and Stripes. Kind of goes along with the strawberry theme. A Sweet Freedom Berry by Erica Michaels. The Summer Basket. I really like these. What is that fabric? It's flax, Belfast. It's pretty. This would stitch up super quick. Happy Independence Day by Bent Creek. And it comes with these little like snappy things that are part of the design, but a little bit odd. I think this one's just cute. Star Spangled by Little Stitch Girl. Right? Yeah, Little Stitch Girl. I have the floss and the finishing kit for Summer Quaker. I've stitched several of the others. I just have to pull the fabric. It calls for a Dinky Dyes yellow. This one's big, Jeanette Douglas, Patriotic Sampler, but I have the little floss pack and apparently the buttons. Oh yeah, it does have buttons on there. Gosh, it's so pretty. So pretty. And then this just random butterfly buttons and beads. Just think that's pretty. Mill Hill kit. And then I have some things kitted up, like this Dimensions kit that I would like to start. It's just very summery and pretty. This, I think I'll start on July 4th. It's huge. Liberty's Welcome. I have it kitted up with the called for NPIs and a piece of linen, probably the called for antique ivory. No, stitched on Ligonier Latte, but it's close. So I've had this kitted up for years and years and years, probably since 21. So that would be nice to start. We have this by The Blue Flower, again, kind of going along with the strawberry theme, Strawberry Bird. So that's actually kitted up and should be started because, again, it's been a project for a long time. And then these were, I think, part of the, what is that box that Primrose Cottage does? Sip and Stitch last year, Strawberry Quilt, and Berry Basket. So I have these kitted up and I should finish them. And then the final one is, oh, no, final couple. So here's Patriotic Quaker that I would like to stitch, and red, white, and blue quilt, just a cute little pillow. I wonder if they have the finishing kit for that. I need to look. And then this big guy. I think she released it last year, but Americana Sampler is pretty. So, well, they're all kitted up and kind of ready to start. I just, get distracted by squirrels. Okay, so that's kind of it. I mean, those are like not plans, are kind of loose plans, but things that I want to start sooner rather than later. But it's kind of a lot. So Um, what else? Okay, I'll show you kind of haul a little bit. Um, Mostly because I kind of lost my mind with ordering some stuff. I don't know, haven't actually stitched any of this particular designer's projects, this Marjeka. I have quite a few of these like kits because they send you with the fabric and the floss. And I guess this one, it says that little QR code, you can just get the pattern as a PDF or like online as a digital chart. And that sounds lovely. But she just has so many beautiful like flower bouquet things that I really just like. And, what am I going to do with all these? I don't know. When am I ever going to stitch them? I don't know. They're just pretty. And I have very little self control when it comes to that stuff. And then what else? There's a couple patterns that I got. Cobweb Corner is retiring, and so she is listing a bunch of like selling off a bunch of stuff. And so I got this one as part of like a auction kind of thing, Dreaming of Iris. I wonder if this is, oh, it calls for DMC. A lot of DMC. Um, but it's super, super pretty. This is July's project from the Housewives, Zinnia Lane. I'm hoping they do a sunflower one. Let's see, the next one is not Zinnia Lane. I can't remember. Hydrangea Hill? I think we only have one or two more, so I'm really hoping one of those is sunflowers. I think this is a new pattern by the Scarlet House called Wallflowers. These I just thought were fun. I'm gonna make the quilt, this quilt, but this is the cross stitch version. It's called Flower Farm Sampler. There's a picture of the quilt on the back. I'm not doing it in that same colors, but I'm gonna make it one day. Barnstar Sampler. I really like this quilt too, and I had big desire to make it, but I don't have plans for it soon. And then I got the Free Stitch Friday kit for June because I've never used these Valdani floss before, and I thought it would be fun to try. What else? I think that's gonna be it for now. Yeah, I think that's it. That's good. 33 minutes is kind of where I start to lose my, not really. I like a good like hour-long Flosstube to sit and watch, but you know. So I showed you my plans. I showed you my haul. I can clean this mess up now, thankfully. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. I hope you come back next time. I hope to be back in like a month because, just because, I don't know. That seems like a better amount of time than 2 months because I feel like I get distracted and there's too much to show you in 2 months. Hopefully I'll actually have been able to complete some of my projects, but we'll see. Um, yeah, so thank you for tuning in. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can. It's Mandy Mead Stitches. I have not posted anything in a long time, but I'm on there and you can message me. um, yeah, and so I guess that's it. I'll stop rambling. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time, and I hope you all have fun stitching. Good night, or have a good day.